Hey, good morning, everybody. So it's been 2 weeks and 2 days since my surgery. Today, I actually had a good night's sleep last night. Woke up this morning and I was able to walk a little better. So I've been doing a little walking here, had my breakfast, did a little walking, came outside, walked around and found my little minions and did some walking. It's a little chilly out this morning, but man, I tell you what, I am so happy I'm over the first 2 weeks. I look back at where I was and all the pain and complaining and whining I did with my family and everybody, and now I've crossed a hump a little bit, so to speak, as far as pain. It still hurts when I do my physical therapy. I still got a bunch of weeks of that ahead of me, but you know, I didn't think I'd say this, but I am. I'm glad I got it done. I just don't look forward to the next knee I have to do, but at least I know what I get to look forward to. So it won't be such a shock and awe and such an experience. I'll know what to expect and I'll be able to handle it better. Um, but being at home, cooped up a little bit, does kind of drive you nuts. And if it wasn't for my cat buddies here, like old Jasper, good old Jasper, and some of the other ones I got running around, probably go stir crazy. They tend to come up and hang out with you when they think you're not feeling good. So Jasper, I found out this morning. I walked down the driveway a little bit, and Jasper lives in a tree. So I didn't know that. So I called for him, and I was looking down over the hill, and I saw this white thing coming out of the bottom of a trunk of a tree that's half standing, and here he comes, old Jasper, running up the hill. So Jasper's going to be the tree cat. So he found him a good spot for the winter. But I wanted to let everybody know, thank you for your prayers. It helps a lot. It reminds me of how much people care, and they never want to see bad things happen to you or see you in pain or suffering, and it's nice to know that people are still around wanting to do that, care enough about people to pray for them for their suffering and help they get through it and everything else. So I just wanted to let you all know I'm doing better. Next week will be week 3. The only complaint, and I'm sorry, I only have one. I have not slept. Last night, I actually slept good. I slept okay. I slept for two hours at a clip instead of the normal 15-20 minute, half hour, 45-minute clips I was getting. I had a real good physical therapy yesterday, and I think that's what really helped. So, thank God he let me sleep a little bit last night. I feel a little more rested. I am still kind of weary, but going 2 weeks with, having very little sleep, sound sleep, I should say, it'll wear on the body, wears on your mind, wears on you emotionally. It plays a big factor in how you feel and how to deal with the pain and the, trying to get around and that. So, but I really thank everybody for their prayers. Means a lot. It really does. And I actually had a good moment yesterday at physical therapy. Not going to mention any names, but the therapist asked me. I was able to share my testimony about Timmy and about what events took place to get me to the point where I'm at as a chaplain and in the position I'm in, and come to find out, I didn't drag it out. So it was only I took a possibly 10-hour story and converted it into about a 20-minute story. Just hit the highlights and the important things I thought that the therapist should know, and it helped. It helped talking about it because it helped me realize that how much you have and how much you appreciate what you have, and how much I was in pain, but it made me realize that this is nothing. I need to look at it differently. I was looking at it like, woe is me, and oh, it hurts so bad. Help me, help me. I'm poor little whiny crybaby. But then the therapist shared their testimony with me. And come to find out, it didn't have to do with a child dying or a family member dying, but it had to do with a dream. Kind of what happened to me with Noel Fender. And I can share part of the dream because I remember what he said. He's in the okay, I'll give you that much. He was he's a member of the Army National Guard. And he would wake up from these dreams every once in a while, and he was getting ready to go. They wanted him to go on a deployment. And he was waking up from these dreams he was having. In the dream, the basis of the dream was he was standing in the middle in his uniform, in his combat uniform, his I forget what he called them, I forget. Anyway, his camouflage uniform or whatever. He was standing in the middle. To his left was a sergeant standing tall in his uniform. To his right were several foxholes. And in those foxholes were soldiers. And those soldiers were on fire. And when he first told me that, I can understand why it would wake him up and it would bother him. But as he explained the story, what took place in his life, it's amazing. He ended up going on his deployment, and he ended up being promoted to sergeant. And he has a good, deep Christian, faithful background, and reads his Bible and does what he can for his fellow man. And his wife at the time, while he was on deployment, would send him Bibles to give out to the men, to the guys. And he told me this, and he said, I was talking to a lot of the guys and trying to help them and kind of see where they wanted to go with their life as far as their faith. And he would give them a Bible, and he would, I think he told me he would do a couple Bible studies and stuff, and he would kind of talk to the guys. Hey, Jasper. And he said he realized what that dream was about. The man in the middle was him at that time when he was having the dreams. The sergeant to his left was him in the future. And the soldiers in the foxholes that were burning because of sin and because they didn't know Christ. And that testimony he gave just, it changed him. God gave him a purpose. You know, he didn't know why he was having these dreams. He couldn't figure it out. But then as he went through his life, that dream revealed itself to him. He realized what the dream was about through his actions, through what took place. And that's awesome. He is now looking at trying to be, working towards I think in the Army they call it a chaplain's assistant. If you're enlisted, it would be a chaplain assistant, a CA. So he found his calling. He found his purpose through a dream. You know, he kept telling me about a chapter or a book in the Bible, Zechariah. And every time the name Zechariah would come up, it had to do with something that was taking place. So that was very encouraging. That really made my day. That lifted my spirits. I think it really helped my healing yesterday with my knee surgery. It was just a wonderful experience, and I want to just share that with everybody. It was, you know, you never know what someone else is going through until you stop and take the time and listen to them. And yesterday, that's what I did. I listened, and his testimony was very, 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 very awe-inspiring. I mean, it shows that God does work, you know, and it's just it was a wonderful day. You know, I got up this morning. I was able to walk out of bed. Well, not walk. I had to get to the side of the bed and stand up. But you know, my day's been a lot better here this morning. I got to get ready to go inside. Sorry for the yawning, but that's what happens when you get like 2 weeks of not very good sleep. And then you get one good night of sleep, and then your yawns are catching you up. So, anyhow, thanks everybody. You all have a blessed day. Give your family and your friends and your loved ones a hug this Thanksgiving. Let God know all the things you're thankful for. And, you know, just have a great Thanksgiving. And may God bless you all and keep you close to his heart, as always. I'll talk to you later. Have a great day. Chaplain Tim out.